Hey, YouTube.
Did you record? Go ahead.
What is going on? We have a few guests with us today. The first one is my husband finally getting on camera, and this is why it has taken so long. Welcome to the camera, Raheem.
What's up, y'all?
So we are actually out here. I have my band, Dana and whatnot going on. He has his hat. We're like real relaxed and comfortable. We are out here at Juan and Cheryl's, and you guys don't know who they are yet, but you are about to find out.
You're going to learn today.
You're going to learn today.
You're going to learn today.
So, we actually came out here. They are one of the top producers, couples within the Miles Group, Lincoln Heritage
some water?
business.
Sound like DMX.
Oh.
All right, go ahead.
And he will be cropped out of the video, so y'all know it ain't even, y'all not even gonna see this. But anyway, we are out here. We had some training. We were out here at the pool, so you guys will see a couple clips where we had a chance to play in the pool a little bit earlier. But now we are going to get a little bit serious and talk about some things that we go through as couples in the business. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
You can look at any of them.
So guys, welcome to Bosses Life Now channel. As I stated, guys, this is Juan on our right and Cheryl, obviously, on our left. And we are here at their beautiful home. As you can see in the background, the slide. Oh my God, you'll see that video in a little bit. The home, the pool. We had an amazing time earlier doing some training, which they are big on. Oh my God, they're always bringing us the new and improved software, documents, everything. Okay, everything that we really need. But what we are talking about today is some things that you go through as couples in the life insurance business. So, guys, let's get real. Let's get real. All right? We're going to get real here today. This is an adult channel, so we can talk about anything and everything, right?
Okay.
All right, so Juan, it sounds like it looks like you got some stuff on your heart. So
Do we need to pray first?
So
We need to
right?
pray first.
No, go ahead.
No. I would say, honestly, most couples can't spend 4 hours together. You
Okay.
know, most of the time, they come home from a 9 to 5, and they spend from, let's just say, from 6 until 9 or 6 until 10 together, watching TV. They probably don't talk about the day, and then they fall asleep real fast. When your partner is in the business with you, you're in the beginning, the first 2 years, she was in the car, 24/7.
Wow.
So imagine, everybody watching, imagine your partner that you married or your significant other being with you 24/7. If you're driving 4 hours away and working 3 days in a row, they're in the hotel room with you. You get up, you're waiting to get in the shower. You go downstairs, you eat breakfast, then you start working the entire day. You work the entire day, you have lunch together. You go through the houses together. You have successes and failures. You get moody, and there's no escape. You're still coming back to the same hotel together. When you're done, you're driving home 5 hours together to come home to be together. So being a partner, being with your partner that long, I've honestly never done that myself. I needed a break before, but I guess when you're with the right person, and this person complements what you do, it's not hard. So I thought that was going to be the biggest challenge, is being with the person all the time. And that wasn't the case. So I'd have to say what we struggled with is, if you will, we're both like alpha type people. I was a manager in the car business. She was a CFO, and she was a leader in a leadership position. So coming into this business,
he wasn't allowed to tell me what to do.
it was just very awkward, because again, this is a I don't want to say a sales position, but this is an educating position. This is a relationship, face-to-face type business, and that wasn't her business. So when she came into this, I did take that lead role because I'm used to doing that. and she had to take a step down role, and she did not like that. And maybe you could tell them about that part right now.
Well, it wasn't so much a step down role.
Mm-hmm.
It was we both wanted to be at that same level, but at one point I realized that his strength was the selling, and that wasn't what I used to do. So mine was more of the organization and running a business, because he didn't have those skills.
No.
The money management side was zero when we met. So, so I think the first 2 years was super beneficial to me riding out with him, because I know the business. I know the business in and out. And how that has helped is along the way we've built a team. So now, because he still runs out in the field and trains, I actually am able to manage the team with the phone calls or, you know, and plus making, because it's not just about selling the insurance, it's about being profitable at what you do. So that's where my job comes in, is sitting with our agents and making sure that they are profitable. So when I realized where our strengths were, that's when this force became huge. You know, that's when we exploded and became a superpower.
Nice.
You know, so but it was a struggle in the beginning, because you know, I was like, you can't tell me what to do, and no, this is what I want to do, and yeah, it was not good.
Nice. So if I can ask a question here. So you said that now you actually go in and you sit with the clients. So you go in and sit with the clients that Juan has already serviced, and you make sure that like you do service appointments with them.
Well, not so much that. I mean, he still does that side of it. I'm more so running the team now. But
Okay.
I do, you know, if any of our team, if their customers fall off the books, you know, I help them. I guide them on how to get them back on, you know, with letters and different things like that. But if I do need to ride out to a customer, which I have done, I will do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty. It's pretty cool how it's worked out. When we bring on different agents, I'll ride initially, and then she can go and do a tune-up, so to speak. So it works out very, very, very well. So her being around the first 2 years in the field with me, seeing everything that I said, hearing everything that I said, did, she's able to duplicate that stuff. So I mean, that's what's actually kind of awesome, because it's just an extension of
Not
me,
just, I mean, yeah.
and being able to be in two places at once. You know,
Not
'cause,
just
I mean,
the first 2 years. I mean, even ongoing. I mean, we've been in the business for 6 years. So, and I came out of the field 2 years in.
yeah.
And it's just hearing him, you know, in the beginning, hearing him on the phone. And plus, we weren't really good managers. So our upline, you know, was teaching us how to communicate with our team as well, because we started out 6 months in, we had a team, you know, so we were just learning the business. So just even hearing him on the phone calls, listening. So, and it's not just us. I mean, that, you know, when our daughter or my daughter is in the house, I mean, she is even listening. So we're grooming her to be in the business now. So yeah, it's
Cool. And how old is your daughter?
she's 14.
14 years old.
She doesn't want to do it, but she's going to. She just doesn't know it yet. But yeah.
I love it.
So, yeah, I mean, from just hearing us, and I mean, at a couple months in, she could actually do a door knock presentation, because she's heard it so much from us.
Right.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
So I remember years ago, because we've kind of grown up in this business together a little bit. Years ago, you guys, as brand new agents struggling, and nobody even knew the struggle financially that you guys were going through in the beginning. And you guys did what most would say an amazing thing. Do you know what I'm talking about? With the managers meeting?
Oh.
Where you guys drove all the way
I mean, it's
down.
and what's tricky again is just, as
That
she
was-
said, I was not really good with money Car business, 26 years. It was like seasonal money. When in summertime, spring, summer, new cars came out, it was hot. But winter comes every year. And I never planned for that. So I was always caught with my pants down in the wintertime. And so when we got into this business, we didn't have big savings or anything like that. And we got offered...
We didn't have any savings.
No savings. We got offered...
0.
It was kind of funny. I remember Troy, the meeting, he was like, Juan and Cheryl, pack your bags. You're going to Florida. And I was like, thinking that we won something, right? And I was like, man, all right, good. Where do we go to get our tickets? What do we sign on to? He's like, oh, no, you're paying for them. And I was like,
Yeah.
but that costs money, and we don't have that. So we, I forgot what we were driving at the time. Was it the Subaru or no? It wasn't.
Hyundai.
It was the Hyundai. Oh my
Hyundai.
gosh, Hyundai Elantra. I had a Shelby GT500 before I got in the business. We traded it in for a Hyundai Elantra because we wanted a warranty, something good on gas, and we drove it down to Florida because we couldn't afford the plane tickets.
But nobody knew. Nobody knew that we couldn't
Nobody
afford
knew.
it because you.
Now I think
you
we
know.
told people we wanted to drive because we enjoyed
Scenery.
driving.
Yeah.
Scenery.
Yeah.
And we did
I
enjoy
remember.
it, but the truth was at that time we were broke. I mean, it was maybe $1,000 for the plane tickets, and then the rooms were $400 a night or something like that. And
When
we
we
did not
got
have it.
there, everybody was going to eat, and we were like, "Oh no, we're good. We don't want to go eat." Not because we didn't want
No.
to eat, because we were hungry. We just
Oh
couldn't
my
afford
God.
to like go to the restaurants.
AJ was sitting at the bar and he had
They
those
were going
those sweet
to.
chili wings. He was like, "Take one, man," and I was like, "No, I couldn't, man." He's like, "Take one." I was like, it was gone. I was like, "Whew, I don't know where that came from. I wasn't that
But-
hungry."
But out of that, because we started in May, and that meeting was in October, I
Mhm.
think.
October.
And what that meeting did for us, because we were still both on the fence, like maybe this isn't for us
Right.
because of the struggle, the money, and we just didn't understand the business yet. So we can't say we were committed, but when we went there and we
Got convinced
saw
big
people like Neil Hadley
Right.
and Patrick Paul and just networking with people who have made it in the business, that was our epiphany that, wow, look at what these guys are doing. And I kept saying to him, you can do this too. We can do this. And driving back from that meeting,
Yep.
we came up with the door cracker letter, to get us in the doors for customers, and then it just took off from there because at that point we realized we're not quitting. And that was in October. December of that year, we sat in our house on Christmas because we couldn't afford to leave. We couldn't afford presents for our kids. So we were still struggling, but we knew at some point we were coming out of that. We had a couple friends that even, that were in the business that stayed with us during that week of Christmas time. But, and then during that time you have so many distractions coming at you, telling you, why are you doing this? Family, my parents, my dad was the worst, and I love him because I wanted to prove him wrong. Like, you need to go back and go back to your 9 to 5. You quit a $70,000 a year job just to struggle, and like, what is wrong with you? So I think that the distractions actually fueled our desire to make this work, because everybody that looked at us said that it wasn't going to work. And it just from there, I can't even remember when the turning point was, but
Turning point I know was we had she had a huge house whenever I met her, and this thing was money. It just took a lot of money. It had a pool.
Because we were putting so much into this business, we were never home. So we were spending $2,200 a month on a place that we couldn't enjoy. So, so I think that at that point we realized, we went from a 4,000 square foot house to a 600 square foot apartment. that when you plug the sweeper in to run the vacuum, it went
Hit
through
all
the
the
whole
rooms.
house, even upstairs.
Hit
you
all the
know.
rooms. Didn't have to unplug it, man. It was
And
crazy.
even then,
Wow.
even then, my parents were like, "What did you just do? You know, you just sold your home." But it gave us the breathing room. And if you know, anybody that has started a business, you're going to realize there are sacrifices and struggles that you're going to make in the beginning. But look now. You know, my
Yes.
parents are so proud now to come over and are just like, you know,
It's
Yeah.
it's a good feeling, but sacrifice. But it wasn't it was a calculated sacrifice. We knew just to get a couple years of breathing room,
yep.
take a couple $1,000s of responsibility off of us. It'll give us the room that we needed to be able to travel a couple hours, to be able to stay in a hotel. It was necessary. You know, T.
Yeah.
Harv talks about it. It's simplification.
Right.
You know, if you need, you know, this is hypocritical. If you need 2 cars, if you need, you know, 2 expensive cars, a big old house, and the bags and the watches and all that stuff in order to feel successful, well, you've raised the bar on what you need to spend every month. You know, but if you could take that same level of income and squeeze it down to a Honda Accord instead of, you know, whatever. It just takes time, man, to build up to those things.
Yes.
And selling her house, moving into that little, and I'll tell you what, man, it's crazy. We were probably, I mean, we're happy now, but I remember that being a very, very happy time. It was a very simple time. But we were very, very close because we had no choice. There were only 4 rooms in the house. But we were just close. We were happy. We could breathe. And it allowed us to grow. So I mean, it was actually a very, very good time, and it made it even sweeter when we did start to see the fruits of our labor, being able to get her a nice car, being able to buy her a few nice things, go on vacations. It just made that little bit of sacrifice made, you know, when you did feel like you made it a little bit, it did make it even sweeter, which was nice.
Okay, so I just want to jump in and ask, because you mentioned sacrifices a few times, but you didn't really dig into what were some of those major sacrifices that you had to go through in order to get to where you guys are today, only 6 years in.
I didn't see my daughter for the first 2 years of this business.
Wow.
My parents raised her pretty much.
And how old was she at that time?
Oh man.
8, 9,
Yeah,
Okay.
8 or 9
Yeah.
years old.
I mean, she would spend the night down there when she had school, because we were out on the road. Yeah. I mean, that was one of the that's one of the biggest.
It's major for
sacrifices,
you,
but
absolutely.
Now I'm with her every day. I pick her up from school. I take her to school. You know, so I'm there for her now because now she's 14, and now is the critical time that she needs me. You know, then she doesn't remember that, but at that time, we involved her in the business. As I said, she would do letters for us, put postage on it. You know, she was trying to get us for money, telling us she wanted $1 a letter. I'm like,
Oh, she's $1 a letter?
She's
Wow.
it's expensive.
Wow.
Monetarily,
Yeah.
from the beginning, again, I got rid of the Shelby. I was spending $600 a month on this Shelby down to $300 a month on a long trip.
Okay.
Something that's good on gas, has a warranty, reliable, that I don't have to worry about. Selling the house went from $2,200 a month down to $650 a month for rent for this little place. So all these little things,
Those are big.
just well, yeah, it added up. You know, it gave you some breathing
A lot
room.
of stress away.
So, and a lot of it was the time. I'd have to say the time. Even sacrificing time together after the 2
Oh, yeah.
years, I went on the road myself, and I mean, I remember I spent literally a month in Northampton, coming home on just Saturday and Sunday, then going back out again on Monday. So it was even just the time together. And that's what you'll do in this business. I mean, you've got to understand that everything that you do is going to pan out and benefit you somehow, plus make you stronger. So, and give you just a pure appreciation of why you're doing it. When again, this thing here, man, to be able to get something like this now, to be listening to the calls, the morning calls from right here chilling, you know, doing laps while you guys are talking or whatever, and then it's just nice. We got a fireplace in our bedroom, man. I mean, it's just nice. So going from that 4-bedroom house, we always knew this was going to happen. And this ain't the end of it. I mean, a couple more years we're going to be in Florida. So this is not the end of it, but it's just, and the reason that we know it's not the end of it is because we look at Neil Hadley, we look at Aaron Calderia, we look at Patrick Paul, all of these guys who came from struggle to just a really, really nice lifestyle. So we know, just as long as we hang in here, keep doing what we're doing, do right by our partners and do right by our clients, it's going to happen. It's just that's the beauty of this. It's going to happen. You don't have to be grimy. You don't have to be a slickster or nothing like that. You just got to be real with people, and it will happen for you.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of people come in and out of the business because of the partners that they don't understand. Because I mean, we were fortunate because I understood. I still, not that there were times when he would go out of town that that it was easy, because there were times when he left when I needed him, but you still have to go because that's the money side of it. And then he would go for a week and then come home, and maybe there were times that he didn't sell anything, so that made the stress 10 times worse. And who do you take it out on? Your person that's closest to you. So a lot of partners that do come in, that's why we always involve the spouses in the interviews, because they got to understand this is not going to be easy. From day one, you're gonna fight with each other, you're gonna cry, you're gonna struggle, and then it just is something that we have learned going forward, and just try to involve the spouses with understanding what they're going to go through.
It's kind of amazing too. Mike and Megan were here today.
Yes.
And Mike was a friend of mine since 2006, but I didn't know his girl. And we invited him last Friday down to First Friday, and she was, again, and when she walked in, she was just real kind of stiff and just watching and observing. And you saw her today. I mean, she's like family. I mean, and that's what it does here. When I don't know how to describe it. When couples come into this thing and they get a glimpse of what their life could be, all of a sudden they start looking at what they're doing and they're like, oh man, I got to get out of this, and maybe I want to try this too. And then that's how more couples come into this business. And I mean, it's life changing. So
I mean, couples do very well.
Couples
at
do
the
well.
Business.
Because there's.
I mean, I came in just as an observer to a meeting, and I was not intending on being an insurance agent. And 5 minutes in, after meeting Troy Miles, I was like, this guy is phenomenal, and this is everything that I've wanted. I mean, I worked a corporate job for 15 years that I would come home and complain to him about, and he just didn't understand. He's like, Cheryl, it can't be that bad there. And I said, you just don't get it, what it's like. I loved what I did. It was just hard to deal with that corporate environment. And when I realized what this opportunity could give us, I went to work the next day and quit my job, because it was now time for me. I mean, it was, I don't even know how old I was when we, I was maybe 39.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to die living in a cubicle. Like this, this gives us purpose. It gives us meaning. And, I quit my job, and then I called him and I'm like, I quit my job. He had a few choice words. And mind you, like, we weren't even studying for our tests. Like, we didn't even start any of that process. So we didn't even know how to even begin. So, but, I knew both of our abilities. And, God gave us those wings, and we used them. And we're still flying high.
I love it. I love it. Any other questions you want to add, Raheem, since you are a part of this video?
So do I get to talk?
You do.
Why ain't I getting the camera? Can you turn the camera? Hi. No, I do have a question.
Yes.
You guys are absolutely one of my favorite couples in the business.
Thank you, man. We love you guys.
Yeah, you're in my top probably. I don't know. Definitely one of my favorite couples, and I know about the struggle that you guys talk about very intimately. What was the most? You mentioned a few things. Gelling, your background versus hers, your style of doing things versus hers, having to let things go and downsize.
Lack of money management.
Oh, see, there she goes. There she goes. You
you
talk.
blend
I
bank
didn't do
accounts?
anything. I didn't say.
We're
any-
different people, honey. We go through this all the time. Go ahead and finish.
Oh, we talking about this about you guys? Or what's going on?
All right,
This
so
is couples within the business.
Couples.
I need one of the directors.
I know.
All right.
Right.
So, what was there ever a time where you can think back where you was like, okay, there was was there ever a breaking point where you were like, okay, this is the cars might have been easy, I don't know, maybe downsizing the house was easy. Was there one thing that was like, okay, damn, this was there one of those moments, or was there a moment where you second guessed the whole everything?
Good question.
Probably in the beginning.
Okay.
A lot of it, because
And what carried you through?
The meetings.
the meeting, going down to Florida. I'll be honest, because if
Yeah.
I hadn't went down to Florida, I probably wouldn't be doing this still.
I mean, and even the meetings that we have at the office every 2 weeks to stay plugged in. We didn't have the calls then, so
The tricky part is with this business, again, coming from car sales, I sell you a car, you're not bringing it back. All right, it doesn't come with a receipt. This is not Walmart. A policy, they could cancel, and when they cancel, whatever that commission was, is going to be paid back. I had a whole bunch of problem with that. I mean, that just did not. I'm not used to that. It felt like taking 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. And I'm telling you, that just really, really, really started getting to me in the beginning, to where I started questioning this, because, and it didn't even have to be something that I had control over. It could be a son saying, "Mom, you don't need to get that policy. I got you." Boom, canceled. I mean, while you're sitting in front of them, they need it, but then they, so that was my
But
biggest
I
part.
think in the beginning, though, we weren't really good at what we call solidifying and closing the deal in the house to make sure, because, in the beginning, we just saw, okay, we just sold somebody, and we didn't even make sure if, okay, so
We
your
didn't make
lights
sure
go
anything.
out in the middle of winter, your furnace goes out in the middle of winter, can you still afford this? We didn't do any of that. But we got better as we went along. So I think at that time, we were just selling to sell. We weren't selling. I don't want to say we weren't selling to help somebody, because we always felt that we were helping them.
You know what?
It
We
was
didn't
just-
get it.
Yeah,
and
we
just
definitely
like
didn't get
we
what
were
we
at
were doing.
Brad's party, and Avalon said he 5 years in the business. He was with another company before he came to Lincoln, and to him it was just a paycheck.
Yep.
All right. Until he handled a death claim, he didn't understand what it was about. So
And that was
that's
kind
it.
of-
When
yeah.
you
That's
when
where we were.
started understanding that this is more than just a paycheck, that's when it changed, honestly.
Yeah.
Because now you're servicing people, and when you're servicing people, it's not it's just more real. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, I'm looking people in the eye and I'm saying, listen, forget the cost of this thing. When that day does come, I'm gonna be the one to take care of your family, and I will take care of your family. When you can say that wholehearted, when you can say, in the last 2 years I've handled 14 death claims, I enjoy when people say to me, listen, thank you, I couldn't have done this without you. So it's taken on a whole different meaning. And in the first year of your business, nah, I don't even think we had a death claim in the first year. But
Yeah.
and if we did have a death claim, we weren't involved. So
Right.
something happened where it did become a purpose,
Yeah,
like she
I
said.
mean, because now when we, when Lincoln sends us an email saying that somebody has passed away, we pick up the phone. We call
Yeah.
the beneficiary right then and there, or, the next morning. But we want to be there to help them. I mean, how many other insurance agents can say that out there?
Right.
That's where, I feel that what we do is,
Our actions are different. I mean, I just had a client cancel last week, a very large policy, $156 premium, and he had just got the policy, and his reason was can't afford. So before that would blow my mind, all right, because that's going to be a very large amount of money that we're paying back. Instead, The very next day, we found out reasons. We researched the call that happened, and I called him up and I said, "What's going on?" Here, the guy had just been diagnosed with lung cancer, and he thought because he just got diagnosed with lung cancer that we were going to drop him.
How about that?
Because he didn't know. He just thought we were going to drop him, so he's going to beat us to the punch.
Wow.
And I called him up and I said, "Listen, I looked you in your eye when I wrote the policy for you. Your sister, Cynthia, who's going to be taking care of everything, nothing has changed. I'm going to be there for her."
Yes.
And I'm telling you, he completely changed. I said, "Now, if it's a little bit high, let's do something where we can lower it down." And I think, honestly, I could have just stayed at where we were, but talked to him about dropping it down to $100 a month, and I drove 2 hours to go solidify with this guy,
Amen.
and he was just as happy as can be. It's where before I would have fell apart. But instead, you're in that service mind, and I didn't think about the money I was going to lose. I was more thinking about, listen, dude, if you do have lung cancer, you really need this. So,
I think that's the biggest advice I would give to any new agent coming into this business is help the person. Find out what their need is, and if there is no need, then walk away.
yeah.
Don't sell something just to sell it. You're there to help that
If
person.
you're in this business for just the money,
Yeah.
it's going to come real fast and it's going to go real fast.
Amen.
If you're in this business to help people, it's going to come slowly and it's going to stay forever.
Yeah.
That's
I love
the
that.
difference. That's the
Yeah.
difference.
I love that.
We go to bed at night knowing that we've helped people, and there's not one person that we've sat in front of that that we feel any type of way, because we know. We've had people cry, say that we were heaven sent, because
It's a
we were
ministry.
there to help them. So to me, I said I can I can die tomorrow now knowing I'm not in a cubicle anymore, and I've helped
Oh, yeah.
like 400 families.
Well,
so
not
far.
just that. The Miles Group themselves, they have Troy, Terrell, everybody has contributed to helping us grow ourselves, because I was a hothead. I was just all sorts of mess when I came here. And these guys don't just care about you being a successful partner. They want you to be a better person.
Mm-hmm.
So they invest time into making you a better person, getting you to think differently. And it's really changed us a whole bunch, So it's just all the way around. It's not just a job. Some people get into this business thinking, again, just a paycheck. This is so much more than just a paycheck. It's crazy.
Embrace the struggles, because they're gonna make you stronger.
Yep.
Yeah, but I will be the one to say, we know that this business is so much more than just a paycheck because of the agency that we're in,
Yes.
and the company that we're with, because of how it's structured.
Sure.
But unfortunately, so many other individuals, even within Lincoln Heritage, that are in different agencies, do not have that structure. They do not have that support system that helps you understand that you have to become better as a person to be able to be better in the field.
Yeah.
So we're truly blessed in that.
Well,
So
and
it's not just the
also-
industry, it's where we are, which helps us to grow.
But even the type of people that you and Raheem are, again, you're unselfishly putting these videos out there to help people improve. So even if your agency does not do what the Miles Group does, you can still get some spin-off benefit from it, from things like what you're doing. So,
Absolutely. But that's why we're doing it.
Yeah.
That's absolutely why we're doing what we do. Because you guys don't even understand how many people will be blessed as to why and sure, I asked you guys if you guys had your channel up and running. And I know that you are in the
We're
workings.
going
It's
to
under
do it.
construction. And as soon as that information is published, we will put that in the description below, because you guys have helped the Miles Group grow tremendously with so many different documents,
We enjoy what we do.
trainings. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
we do.
Juan, you do the daggone training every other week. You do the TMG University, right?
Yep.
So, you guys are huge in the fact that you've gone from literally not having anything, driving to Florida, when so many other agents, so many other people would have said, no, you know what, I can't make it. I don't have any money. I don't know how to do, I'm not going to go. You guys went,
It was the
regardless.
best thing that ever happened.
and it changed your whole
Yep.
life.
So,
Yeah.
don't
So-
be afraid to sacrifice, man.
Don't be afraid to sacrifice. I was going to say, last word, suggestion that you could give to a new agent or an agent that is not doing well? Juan, we're gonna go with you first.
Just embrace the struggle, as she had said, because it's part of your story. It's part of our story. There isn't a person in the Miles Group, there isn't a person in FPG that has not went through it. You can't get to the top without the struggle. It's part of becoming successful. So whenever you're thinking that it's too hard, whenever you're thinking that I can't, whenever you're thinking this doesn't make sense, you've got to put yourself in check. Talk to somebody. Keep in mind who you're talking to. Talk to somebody more successful than you. If your circle includes people that are doing worse than you, you're probably going to be done. But check who you talk to. And I would always reach up to people doing much better than me. And it was much easier for me to hang in there. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's much easier for us to hang in there because the prospect of being able to be where they're at was always there. Now, if I'd have talked to somebody that was doing worse than me, you know, I'd have went back to the car business or something like that. But we never stopped pushing forward. We never stopped believing, and that was it. So your struggle, embrace it. It's going to happen. Be thankful for it. It's the price of admission.
I
The
would
price of
say,
admission. Thank you.
Any successful person that you know, The Rock.
I gotta bring him up.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
You're watching. No. No.
I love him too,
Elon Musk,
truth be known.
Bill Gates. If you see any of the people that were successful, if you read their biographies, they struggled in the
Yes.
beginning,
They
and that
sacrificed. They
yep,
did it all.
they sacrificed and they struggled, and they just kept going. They didn't give up. You know, as many times as they have failed, because I mean, we failed. We lost 3 teams already. You know, but we kept on going. You know, $20,000 chargebacks from people that have left, but we kept on going. You know, to me, that's a tax write-off.
Amen.
So, for a new person coming in, as Juan said, and that's what I, wanted to say, reach up, because if it wasn't for our upline and the people around us that took us in, we wouldn't have made it. And, this is why we have trainings like this for new agents to come out and absorb everything that you're hearing and seeing, from the phone calls to the meetings to just, seeing an agent out on the street. What are you doing today? Gather as much information about this business. And remember, it is a business. This is not a job. This is now your business. So keep that in mind.
I love it. I love it. Any extra comments, Raheem?
No, you guys are great.
Absolutely awesome. I wish you nothing but the best, man.
Likewise, man. Definitely.
Yeah, nothing
Definitely.
but the best. If you were to do everything over again as a couple now, maybe one thing that you would do differently. Is there one?
Save more money. Do not buy a new Escalade when you're do not take car advice from Troy Miles. I'm just kidding.
Now, in
Don't worry, we'll be at
his
it.
defense, this business is a recruiting business.
Yes.
So, that's one of the things that we were told, have the vehicles and the car, the cars, and we could show our 1099s now. We both make,
Good money.
4 times more than what we did at our jobs, my salary job. So that to me, don't overextend yourself if you're not ready.
Yes.
Don't fake it till you make it
I
kind
need
of
a
thing.
Tell
So-
Rob Williams that we're going.
But yeah, that's one piece of advice. I would say.
That's a big piece of advice.
Huge.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Because it's really hard to be in the field and to service individuals whenever you're stressed out, right?
Yes.
Guys, thank you for joining us on the Bosses Life Now channel. You are 2 of the bosses within this agency, within this business, and we appreciate all of your time and all that you guys have put into all of us. Guys, until next time, I'm sure we will have Juan Ashura with us again.
We'll have our own
Please.
channel.
Yes, yes. Please, guys, do what you do best. Put your comments down below. If you have any questions or comments, suggestions for Juan and Cheryl, and you see Raheem photobombing there, guys, make sure.
Did you just snort?
I
You-
did
make
snort.
sure.
Did you get
Yes,
him
I-
snorting?
I
on
got
the
him
camera?
snorting,
Yes, I did.
guys.
Oh,
Make
God.
sure you put your comments down below. If this is your first time checking in with Boss's Life Now, guys, hit the subscribe button down in your lower right hand corner, as well as share and like this video, guys. We are going to be coming to you guys every single week with some new content, some excitement, and always love and life.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye-bye.